I want to talk to you about minority business certification, but also a women-owned business certification. So you have two business certifications that I want to talk about in today's conversation, and I want to give you a step-by-step guide. So here's a prologue I want you to really think about. The thing is that minority-owned and women-owned business certifications are really two of the primary options that actually pave the way for new opportunities and also kick open doors for business growth. And but I first want to talk about MBE. So that's the Minority Owned Business Certification. And so this is actually issued by the National Minority Supplier Development Council, the NMSDC. And so this certification, the MBE certification, covers a wide spectrum of racial and ethnic minority groups that actually bring a unique flavor to the business scene. So you have a lot of diversity. That diversity is kind of cool. You have efficiency also. So when I speak about ethnic minority groups, I'm speaking about African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, and Native Americans, among other, because there are other groups that are actually concerned, okay, when it comes to this particular MBE certifications. One thing I want to say here is that the NMSDC has a vast network of around 12,000 certified businesses and connections. So that's kind of cool. That's really deep and broad, okay? And you have over 1,400 to 2,000 corporate members. That's really big also. So when you think about it, learning how to get MBE certification can actually prove helpful in unlocking opportunities within government circles and the public sector. So, and that's really good when it comes to revenue avenues for your business. And the MBE certification even holds weight in the private sector, as NMSDC members include some of the largest corporate companies in the world. Think about it. You have Accenture, you have Apple, you have Bank of America, you have Delta Airlines, you have Facebook, you have Google. You have a lot of biggies, and that's really fantastic. Okay, you have Microsoft, Nike, United Health, you have Walmart, you have Walt Disney. So that's really fantastic. So beyond the prestige of the certification itself, there are also tangible benefits that can really propel the growth of a minority-owned business. So if you're listening to me right now, the thing is that you have to really understand that you have, for instance, you have what I call intangible benefits, such as you have access to government contracts that are actually set aside for small businesses. And this contract can provide a steady stream of work and revenue, contributing to the growth and sustainability of your business in the first place. So in addition to contract opportunities, certified businesses are eligible for business funding, entrepreneurship training. You have coaching also. That's really cool. You have grants, you have loans, you have lines of credit, you have credit cards. Fantastic. So besides actually the minority-owned business certification, you also have women-owned business certification, so WBE, another prestigious certification that I love a lot because it opens doors like crazy. Okay, so what is WBE certification? So in a nutshell, it is basically an accreditation that recognizes the achievements of female entrepreneurs while simultaneously bridging the gender gap and providing a platform for women-led enterprises to thrive in various sectors. This is really good. So, and the thing is that you might be wondering why WBE certification is necessary. Well, the thing is that, after all, women in business are making huge strides, right? But the thing is that there is still a gap to be filled, and this gap has to do with history, has to do with geography, has to do with economics, and the WBE actually certification is really there to recognize actually the wonderful expertise that the women are bringing to the economic sector. So this is really fantastic. I mean, when you think about it, in the general population, you have 50-50, like you have 50 males and 50 females. By some stats, you have a 51 to 49. So it's really like give or take. But when it comes to business ownership, you have 58% male versus 42% female. So that's a little delta there. Not a little, that's a big delta, 16%. So this skew, which you may not consider hugely significant, isn't really the case in point though. Research shows that women tend to get significantly less support when they start a business, okay? And actually 29 to 35% of female business owners don't think they get equal access to capital. So basically this certification really is there to kind of help sort of even the playing field, and that's a good thing. Okay, so if you are a female entrepreneur and you are working on your business and you're trying to really make strides, getting a WPE certification is really good because it will help you. It will unlock opportunities for you, not only in the short run, but also in the long run. So, and if you are a minority female, that's even better. So you can get the MBE, you can also get the WPE. So you have two in ones. That's really fantastic. I want to talk to you about the benefits of certification for small businesses, and I really want to dig deep here in terms of benefits not only operationally but also geographically. Okay, first of all, you have access to government contracts. That's really fantastic. I mean, achieving MBE or WBE certification is really a gateway to securing a portion of the government contracts reserved exclusively for businesses like yours. Okay, this is really an important element to think about. You also have supplier diversity programs. So those are SDPs, and those SDPs offer a simple solution for how to get a minority owned business certification process to work in your favor. And many corporations actively seek certified businesses to diversify their supply chains. So being part of an SDP opens doors for lucrative partnerships and collaborations. So this is really cool. You also have a competitive advantage. So MBE and WBE certification really offers a competitive edge in the market where diversity and inclusion are becoming a priority. Okay, and not only for small businesses but also for large enterprises. So modern day consumers are actually proving to be increasingly responsible in their purchasing habits, and this is kind of cool. So certification showcases that you have a commitment to diversity and inclusion, helping you attract clients who prioritize working with socially and ethically responsible businesses. That's why like those big companies are trying to really make sure that they have they diversify their supplier base. And on top of that, remember that they have to actually some of those publicly traded companies, they have to issue reports at the end of the year. So they want to be seen as good corporate citizens, quote unquote. Okay. So besides access to government contracts, supplier diversity programs, competitive advantage, you also have networking opportunities. That's just really crazy. It's wonderful. I mean, if you are certified, you have networking opportunities like crazy. There is much more to getting certified than the bottom line benefits, right? Because you have the quantitative aspect of things, but you also have to think about the qualitative aspect of things. So getting certified grants you an all access pass to a network of influential business leaders, mentors, and diversity champions. It also allows you to forge invaluable connections and become part of a more extensive, inclusive, supportive, and collaborative society within the wider business community. And so this is actually an ecosystem that guarantees all members more exposure within their respective industries. So this is kind of cool. You also have education and resources. So I'm still talking to you about the benefits of certification for small businesses. So you have education and resources, you have financial assistance, you have market expansion, you have credibility and trust. That's a biggie. And you also have a representation. You also have economic empowerment. So when I speak about educational resources, certification is actually about more than just the here and now. It's an investment when you think about it. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your business's future. Why? Because when you really think about, once again, achieving certification often comes with access to additional educational programs and resources that really help you keep up to date and ahead of industry trends. So with the tools you need to continually improve and adapt, you will be empowered to achieve long-term growth and success. What about financial assistance? Well, the thing is, some certifications provide access to special grants, loans, and incentives specifically designed to support the growth and development of minority and women-owned businesses. So think of these programs as your financial fairy godmother, okay, acting as a catalyst to help you make your dreams a reality with the extra fiscal support you need. So that's kind of cool because it gives you flexibility also. You have market expansion, so you can expand your business boundaries. There are actually significant perks to leveraging, for instance, the enhanced visibility of becoming certified MBE or WBE business. So the additional recognition and credibility that comes with accreditation act as your ticket to expand and conquer, really, and that grants you a universal passport to enter untapped national, local, and global markets. So that's really, again, another avenue for revenue. Of course, you have credibility and trust, right? Because trust really is kind of important. And when you actually get certified, you are actually instilling an extra layer of credibility to your business. Of course, you have representation, you have economic empowerment, because the thing is, if you can win more revenue, of course, you'll be empowered in the monetary sense. So that's really good, especially when you look at it from that point of view. I want to talk to you about the steps here. So how do you get women-owned and minority-owned business certification? First thing first, you have to establish eligibility. Okay, so before we actually get down to the nitty-gritty of how to apply for women-owned business certification or even minority-owned business certification, it is to make sure that you meet the eligibility criteria, right? So your business, and this is an important element, I want you to write it down. Your business must be owned by U.S. citizens, located domestically, and the magic number for ownership percentage is either, like in either case, for women and or minority, must be 51%, minimum 51%. So the MBE requirements, your business must be at least 51% owned by members of minority groups, which the NMSDC defines it as Asian Indian, Asian Pacific, Black, Hispanic, or Native American. And for the WBE requirements, actually to score the WBE badge, the women who call the shots need to rock at least 51% ownership, and that's really important to actually to meet those. Okay, so after establishing eligibility, you want to gather documentation, much like your IRS is asking you to file a return, or your bank or your benefits provider. You have to really like all the certification agencies love the paperwork, and so preparation is kind of key. And for MBE applications, be sure to emphasize the minority ownership aspect, showcasing the diversity in your enterprise. And for WBE certification, highlight the women who are the driving force behind your enterprise. And to present a clear and comprehensive picture of your business, you may be asked to provide proof of citizenship, certificates and articles of incorporation, ownership agreements, copies of executed and attested bylaws and any amendments, stock certificates and ledgers, financial statements, and tax returns. So this is important to think about. And you have to complete the application. So for MBE applications, you have to visit the website of the regional NMSDC affiliate closest to your headquarters for guidelines of how to get the minority-owned business certification in your local area, because everything is actually driven in the local area. And for WBE applications, apply directly through the official Women's Business Enterprise National Council websites. So this is kind of cool. And then you have to schedule visit, the site visit and interview, and you have to wait for the certification review process. And then what you want to do here is that you need to actually recertify annually. This is an important element to think about. So when you actually go through the first process, you have to really think about the periodic recertification process. Okay, so if you already got certification, just remember that the journey doesn't end there. So most certification require annual renewal to verify your continued contribution to the diverse business landscape. So that's really an important element to think about. So really staying on top of the renewal process is straightforward if you are vigilant with record keeping and on the ball with updating your licenses, things like permits, things like professional memberships, and so on and so forth. So you got to be really careful there because they're very straightforward there as well. So let me talk to you about the key certification programs for minority-owned businesses. So while there are several certification programs for minority-owned businesses, some stand out due to their credibility and the opportunities they offer, not only in the short term but also in the long run. So the federal 8A program, state certifications like DBE and MWBE, and also the National Minority Supplier Development Council certifications are some of the key types that minority businesses can consider really. And the cool thing is each program has distinct requirements and advantages. So as a business, you should really comprehend each program before applying. So let me talk to you about the NMSDC certification. So basically, this is actually a membership organization committed to actually promoting supplier diversity and connecting corporate members with minority-owned businesses. And the cool thing is that if your business fits the bill, that NMSDC certification can be a game changer because the certification process involves submitting application materials, which are then reviewed by certification committees. So that's kind of cool. And following this, the final approval is given by the board. The board actually has the last word, okay? And this comprehensive process spans up to 90 days. And with NMSDC certification, your business gains visibility in front of a vast network of, let's say, corporate members, increasing your chances of landing lucrative contracts, okay? Now, here are the steps to obtain the MBE certification by the NMSDC. Submit the NMSDC certification application. Upon approval, you will receive actually a notice via email. And if your application is rejected, you can follow up with an appeal letter addressing any concerns they have and provide the required documents, including the certificate of incorporation and proof of insurance. You got to have the proof of insurance. You also have the SBA 8A Business Development Program, and we have an entire show on that so you can have a clear idea how this whole thing works, okay? I'm not going to speak too much because we have an entire show on this, but bottom line here is that the SBA 8A Business Development Program actually is another excellent avenue for minority-owned businesses to explore. And the program seeks to help minority-owned businesses by providing growth and development opportunities. You also have personalized support, so that's kind of cool. On top of that, you have also mentorship, so you have the ability to be mentored, and you have access to federal contracts. And to qualify for the 8A certification, you have to meet the following criteria. So you got to have at least 2 years of operations, be at least 51% owned and controlled by U.S. citizens who are socially and economically disadvantaged. You got to adhere to certain net worth, income, and asset criteria. So this is an important element to think about. And you also have state and local government certification programs. So right now, those will vary depending upon your state, okay? But the cool thing is that you have the opportunity to have education programs, you have business programs, and so you're able to gain recognition and benefits through like they are offered by state government agencies as well as local governments. So you are able to get those real fast. And so cities such as New York and LA provide extra advantages through local certification programs, which basically include listings in business directories, invitations to networking events. So that's kind of cool. You also have access to educational resources tailored for actually certified businesses. So this is really cool. So long story short, you are able to leverage these resources, and as a minority-owned business, you can build a stronger presence locally and also foster deeper connections within your communities. So the whole thing is when you actually get certified, you are able to leverage your certification for business growth. That's for sure. I mean, I think I've said this before, but I want to really insist on that because it is an important element to us to think about. Let me just break it down for you. So once you are certified, you can actually you can have a great opportunity, but you got to really have the right strategic planning. You got to think about planning, but also execution in areas like networking, very important, pursuing government contracts, marketing your certification. So you got to let people know that you are certified, right? Because it is an important achievement when you think about it. You also leverage services from select GCR. So those are government contract, let's say resources, okay? So when I speak about networking and educational opportunities, basically as a certified minority-owned business, you are connected to major corporations and government agencies, getting the opportunity to attend cross-sector industry events and meetings with supplier diversity managers. So when you think about it, this exposes your business to a larger audience and also potential clients, which can actually lead to new business opportunities when you think about it. So in addition to networking, you have the opportunity to have access to educational training. Okay. You also have the opportunity to pursue government contracts. So federal law mandates that 23% of federal contract dollars must be awarded to small businesses, with the 5%, 5 to 10% actually set aside for minority-owned contractors with 8A certification. So this is kind of cool. So you also have the opportunity to get things done a lot faster. Okay, so this is kind of cool because you are able to. So in addition to traditional marketing methods, consider enhancing your online presence by adding diversity badges to your Google business, for instance, to your Facebook and Instagram profiles. This can really, when you think about it, this can increase visibility and demonstrate your commitment to diversity and inclusion. You can also market your business to government contracts. So I'm speaking here about SAM specialist, processing specialist, marketing specialist, and also certification specialist. So you have the opportunity to actually gain visibility real fast. And the thing is that when you speak about the select GCR process, basically you have a team that allows you to collaboratively work with clients over a 12-month time frame, positioning your company as a feasible choice for thousands of pertinent government contracts. So this is a really great opportunity, especially if you want to increase your avenue for revenue. So here's an epilogue here into this conversation. I spoke to you about the minority business certification and women business certification. So I gave you the prologue, the types of small business certification, the benefits, how to really get the certification, really the actual certification, the key certification programs for minority-owned businesses, and also how to leverage your certification for business growth. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.